all the derivatives unwound, and we got a lot of price drop, and we were just kind of recovering from that. Price kind of got up to 55,000 from recent bottoms, and then Elon tweeted that Tesla would not accept Bitcoin as they previously had announced as payment for their Tesla cars, but furthermore citing the fossil fuel usage, which it was met with sudden sell-off, significant sell-off, and it wasn't sell-off from the derivatives because they had all just unwound. The market had just been purged of traders, and we were pretty much looking good. But we had tidal waves of coins start to form and be sent into the exchanges, and whales were selling down. And from the looks of the age of those coins, they didn't carry much age with them. So very young coins, and I think they were the coins that were collected on the way up between the 24 to the 30,000 mark, 40,000 mark back in January. It just seemed like that also from the profit those coins were carrying as they were being dumped out. So we saw this price sort of drop, first very immediately from short-term speculators. It kind of stabilized around the low 50s, and it teetered there as more and more coins were being sent into the exchanges. And so put together, the latest bearish action we had in April, a very tentative recovery, and then this second wave of hard sell down, the markets didn't really withstand that, and we lost 50,000. Then found a next level at 45,000. And as that was happening, traders, not spot investors, but traders were thinking they would buy the dip. So the number of contracts on these futures exchanges started climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing, and we reached an all-time high in terms of Bitcoin value at that kind of, by then we were down to like teetering around the 38,000 mark, and it was, the amount of selling was enough to push it over, and we dropped below 38,000, which apparently was the liquidation level for these long positions. So,
is that what drove us down to 30 then?
Yeah, we had a minor capitulation where we dipped down and recovered quickly, and I think a lot of traders thought that was it. And then the selling was too strong, and we broke below the liquidation levels, the risk limits, where in a long position, there's going to be a certain price at which you're either going to get bankrupted or your risk levels are going to kick in and you're going to sell out of that long position. So we just saw cascades of these futures contracts, long positions, unwind. That's just saying they're going to sell down, and when they sell, of course the price drops a bit, and then that hits the next person down at the lower level, and then you get this cascade and a runaway of selling as these long positions get bankrupted, and that took us down to 30,000, even 29 on some exchanges within minutes, absolute minutes, and all the exchanges started to freeze up. The UIs on them started to freeze up. Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, all of them. FTX held pretty strong. They were pretty much okay. But people who were wanting to buy the dip couldn't even buy the dip. They couldn't even log in. BlockFi, where people were trying to log in, trying to send in more collateral on their Bitcoin-based loans, were were shut out as well momentarily over that mayhem. And so that's what happened. And then, of course, once we purged that, all that selling, price immediately bounced back up into the higher 30s almost within, a few minutes or so. So yeah, it was fireworks, absolute mayhem.
Yeah, I mean, I've been through 2 bull markets. The first one doesn't really count, but the last one, and witnessed 30%, maybe 40% drops. Panicked myself, didn't know what to do. Kind of weirdly enough with this one, even with it going we're almost like 51% down from the higher, I was still all right with it. I was kind of okay. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, because I get paid by some of my sponsors in Bitcoin, and so they're the only coins I sometimes worry about because I need to use them to operate the business at times. But
right.
But personal stacks, I was like, I'm fine. It is what it is. My DMs and emails were wrecked for 48 hours. I can't get through the DMs quicker than they're coming in, and some of them are actually really quite sad. I've got people claiming they've lost everything. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to tell their wife. They're broke. Really sad stories. That's the sad side of it. But I think also sometimes I'm not sure what to do. You want to put an arm around them and say, I'm really, sorry, this has happened to you. But you also, another time, you want to say, look, you're taking on too much risk. No Bitcoin held in cold storage was liquidated. If you're putting everything into leverage positions, you're taking way too much risk.
Yeah, I mean, you can only lose if you're on leverage, and you're on the wrong side of that. And so, it's a double-edged sword. It's all great when things are going up, but with these markets now, we've got so much leverage in the system with the likes of initially BitMEX and now Binance Futures, CME, OKX, all these exchanges doing immense volume. The volume is heavily weighted on the derivative sides. It's very, you'll notice that volatility, and you'll notice the shapes change, and you can almost take a guess at how much leverage is in the system by seeing how choppy the price becomes. And when you get this kind of liquidity failure where there's not enough buys and we have hit a liquidation point. This is the second time we've had this in barely over a year. The last one was COVID. The thing just plummeted. And before that was the 2018 bottom near the tail end of 2018. That thing plummeted like we'd never seen before up to that point, like a sheer downward wall, cliff. And, that was the first BitMEX liquidation. That was the first major derivative markets unwinding. And so if you're going to play leverage, you have to know what you're doing. And if you're going to do it as a new person participating, then you really need to position very small until you learn the game.
But I reckon I was going to say, Willie, there must have been some pretty smart, experienced traders who still got hit pretty hard with this.
Yeah. I know a few, and they were liquidated also. They were also buying the dip. And also, remember, this thing happened right in the morning in US time. So people were just waking up to the sell down overnight. And, I know some were trying to send more collateral into the exchanges to lower their liquidation levels. And some people got liquidated before that happened. I know some very sophisticated traders that were, just like the market took them unprepared for that kind of event. No one thought we would have a COVID-style crash right in the middle of a bull market. So, yeah,
Do you think it's unhealthy, the amount of leverage we have in the system? Then,
yeah,
is there anything we can even do about it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, because we've got very much, you know, we've got a lot of unregulated derivative exchanges. I don't know if that's the issue, but it's so easy for anyone to sign up, click, and enjoy 100x plus leverage. What Binance was saying that 60% of traders use more than 20x leverage. So it's really fun in games if you see. It's like a casino, right? And it is like, I do think it's unhealthy for the long term picture of Bitcoin, the growth of that.